What's good, YouTube land? Transformer reviews. Remember when I did those? Well, today we get to look at something I actually talked about all the way back in November. And I know none of you watched, because there's only one view on the video. And I know whose view that is. We're going back to the studio series. And instead of the 1985 movie, which I have now watched end to end, and did quite enjoy. No, we're going Bumblebee movie. The best. Inarguably the best of the live-action Transformers movies. And we're talking about core class Ravage. So here is the new packaging. Part of the new packaging for the studio series. I like it quite a bit. It's small and compact. Yeah, it's a nice little sort of new package. It does say Ravage studio series from the Bumblebee movie, which apparently Ravage was in. That scene on Cybertron happened so fast, I can't actually place Ravage anywhere in that. Like, Soundwave was there, Shockwave, the Seekers, like, all the main cast. I'm sure if I watched it again, I could say, oh, there was Ravage, but off the top of my head, can't remember. What I do know, or apparently, is that Soundwave was a lamp. But we'll get to Soundwave. Not that one. Love that one. Alt mode, not so much, but actually he's in the same deal as the Bumblebee movie Soundwave. But we'll get to him eventually when I find him. Anyway, I found Ravage. I did actually see Shockwave as well. But I already have a movie-verse Shockwave. The Dark of the Moon one. Which I never did a proper review on. I did a little stop-motion video very early on. Go check that out. But it's not stop-motion. It's pictures put together. Maybe I should do a proper video on it, but yeah. Anyway, the toy, or the box art. There's a nice picture of Ravage doing something the toy can't, but we'll get to that. All the usual branding and stuff. There he is. And there he is, core class. There's the product shots. We'll talk about that. And there's stuff. So, here's little Ravage. And I kind of like him. But there's, again, one main reason why I got this guy. We'll get to that eventually. But on his own, they had to figure out a way to sell him as a standalone piece, because they couldn't just sell him as an accessory for Soundwave, which he is. So they've done basically a Cybertronian version of G1 Ravage, as expected. It looks nice. It looks a lot better than, I want to say, the other movie Ravages, because they've done Ravage toys where they're, I think the alt mode was like a nothing. Hey, consistency. But I don't have any of those other movie Ravages. So for comparison, here he is with the Ravage that came in the 2-pack. There you go. With a Covert Agent Ravage. And if you have that guy, I think the Siege Ravage came with him. I can't remember off the top of my head. I would have to go back through my catalog of reviews, which I've done over 400. Not all of them Transformers, but, you know, this isn't the best representation of Ravage. And I'm not comparing him to Covert Agent Ravage, because the less I have to look at that beast mode, the better. And even though they're the same character, you're talking about a robot and a beast instead of... never mind, I'm just not doing it. So let's talk what we do have here. We have a nice looking, decently proportioned little whatever he's supposed to be. a panther, a puma, a dog? No, he's definitely cat-based, but there is the face. Not the worst face. He certainly doesn't have that sort of a menace that the box art wants you to believe. Because this is an evil. He looks kind of like just kind of goofy. And basically, what you see is unfortunately everything you get. So there's quite a lot of detail, and yeah, he looks like this. You know, I'm trying to come up with jokes, and he's really leaving me stumped. It's a nice little thing. He certainly is what he is. He is definitely solid with the quality plastic we expect nowadays. As the prices go up and up, and hopefully the plastic quality doesn't go back down. He does have a Decepticon emblem on each of his front legs, which is good. Good to know what faction he supports, even though it'd be obvious. And there's not much else for the beast mode before we go into articulation, but we can go back inside the package, and instead of a diorama or anything like that, we have, hilariously, accessories for an accessory. Yeah. So just pull these out real quick. They're like, okay. Oh, we do sort of have a diorama because it's a backdrop right here, but it's not. It's a battle on Cybertron. I see a couple characters I can't recognize. There might be Wheeljack. There might be my phone going off. Let's see if we can. I can't tell if that's Wheeljack or not right there. Not the robot, the car. I don't know. But, yes, accessories. So we have a big painted gun. Nicely painted in silver. I believe goes on his pegs into the hole, or I drop it. No, it goes on his underbelly. Goes into this port right there and looks kind of ridiculous. And then we have this tiny thing, which does go on the port on his back, like that. And then you have these, I want to say other guns. I'm not sure what these are, but these go on the back legs. If I, yes. They go on the back legs facing forward. So we have now armed up our little Ravage to do whatever he's going to do. Attack an Autobot's shins, possibly. Because just for size comparison, actually, yeah, that's pretty accurate for some varieties of dogs, actually. I don't want to keep comparing him to a dog, but rarely do cats get that big. There are some. And also, this guy is kind of a pain in the ass to stand up. Because his ball jointed ankles have not survived. so far. They are quite loose. So now we have to talk about articulation. And the best way I can describe it is okay, but disappointing. So I'm going to, for the purpose of this, I'm going to remove his accessories, just to give you guys a little bit of a clearer shot, except the radar thing. So his head has a hinge for transformation, and that's pretty much it. His mouth can open and close, but the box art promised that dynamic head motion, which the toy cannot do. Now his head goes all the way very deep for the purposes of transformation. So there's that. You do get ball joints in the shoulders, but this is what I mean by disappointed. They have that much outward range. They go from there to there. You do get a tiny bit of butterfly motion, which is okay. And you do get a full swivel here, because every ball joint can be a swivel. But that, I'm going to be honest, I was hoping for more range on the ball joints. You do get a elbow bend. You do get one joint there, and you get a joint at his paw. And that's it for forward leg, front leg. Again, it's good. There's quite a bit of range, more than there is any other Ravage I have besides the Covert Agent Ravage. But, you know, I guess I shouldn't have been expecting more. But it's the exact same with the back legs. The back legs are ball jointed, and you have even less range. You get more range inward than outward. And you do get, again, a rotation and a bit of butterfly jointage. And there are quite a few hinges. You got a hinge, a hinge, and a hinge for all this sort of... For some reason, this pin right there is stupidly tight. Like, this is mainly a transformation joint. It's one of the more... It's actually probably the most important transformation joint. Because without it, he's not going to fold up properly. And it's... Why is it so tight? Ugh. And I guess the tail can do a sassy waggle. But also, that's for the transformation. So, yeah, posability. Like, conceptually, I find myself wishing he had more range. Like, part of me wants to be able to just pick this up and play with it and put it in a cool pose, like, you know, like he's taking a leak on one of the Autobots. No, wait, that's in tune with the movies, the live action movies' attempts at comedy. And, like, you know, like, you can get him in some decent dynamic poses, but I feel like you can only do that when he's in the air. Like, I don't feel like any poses you can do, you need like a stand, which he does have a port compatibility for that. It's also the weapon port, as I showed off, but, you know, just, I feel like he can only stand there, like, stand and look cool, but it doesn't feel like he can do much. So he's not a brick, not by any means, but I don't know. I kind of feel like I'm lacking the articulation, but it also feels like the beast mode is sort of an afterthought, because let's face it, it kind of is. Because his main thing is to be an accessory for the studio series Bumblebee Soundwave. And to accomplish that, we have to do a transformation. Now, the instructions, credit to them, are clear enough to get you through, but they also confused me a little bit. Now, try and show that off what I mean. So, first off, you want to tuck the head all the way in. So he's taking a nap. It's bedtime, Ravage. Time to go to sleep. And the front legs, you want to curl up into sort of this position, and there's a little port right there on the inside of the shin that'll plug in to that peg right there. So you want to do that, sort of fold them, and just get it into place. And we're going to leave the front legs like that for right now. And I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. So, the back legs, here's the confusing point. The thing I couldn't understand right away in the transformation. You want to slightly unclip them by moving the gray section of this back a bit, and then you want to rotate the bar they're on. So you can see they're on one gray bar. You want to rotate that with keeping the legs back. You want to rotate it all the way here. So it's in this position, and then that gives you room to close that, and we'll deal with the tail in a second. And that was the thing that confused me in the instructions. I couldn't figure out that step of pushing the legs forward. The rest of it's not really that tricky. It's just a series of tiny adjustments. You basically have to get that peg into that hole. So you have to tuck up the leg in a very specific way to make it look like that. You want your beast leg to look like that, and then fold the foot from the front leg in there. And that's one side done. And you want to do the same thing, roughly, using that stupidly tight pin, and just sort of finagle it in. So that, there you go, and there you go. And then you fold the tail so it's touching his snout. He's biting his own tail, every dog's dream. Immediately, toy sold, there you go. But this is his alt mode. Now, you can weaponize it all you want. You can stick, let's see, where is it? What does it want you to... Okay, it wants the rectangle piece moved from his back to that port in there. So you want it to look like that, and then fold the tail in. And then you can plug the top gun, the big gun, the thing that actually looks similar to G1 Soundwave's gun, sort of, like in vague inspiration. You want it pegged in like that. And then where do the missiles go? Wait, what? Oh, I think the missiles go, or guns, go like that. Yep. And there is Ravage, Bumblebee movie Ravage, in his full alt mode. I guess you could vaguely call this a Cybertronian cassette. Although the the people this is for, most of them might be kids, aren't going to know what a cassette is. We're so far that it's like, is that a Spotify? Probably the. And this, its function is to go in Soundwave's chest. Much like old Ravage, much like, this guy. Much like this one, which admittedly is going to be a bit more of a hassle to transform. If I can remember, I just did it recently. Like, I just did it for the purpose of this. How is this video over 20 minutes? How am I being unfunny for more than... well, I know how I'm being unfunny for more than 20 minutes. How have I not... I'm sorry, this is... Anyway, I don't have Soundwave right now, so I can't give full critique of Ravage. As a standalone, do I recommend him? No. Only if you're getting Soundwave. Frankly, for the three modes, or the three elements of the toy, robot or beast, primary mode, transformation, alt mode, he scores a 1. And he has a cool beast mode. Cool to look at. Not really that cool to play with. Which is unfortunate. Like I want to like it. It's like, it's a cool... like, I like Ravage. He's Ravage. He's Soundwave's pet. But, like, I can't suitably sit here and actually say he's a cool toy to... like, I want to say he's a cool toy. I generally do. Like, I deeply do. But it's just... I feel like he's a toy a little kid might play with for a couple seconds and go, nah, I'm bored. And frankly, that's how I feel. Like, okay, here's a comparison to... yeah, there you go. There's the most apt comparison I can make. Siege, Ravage, Bumblebee movie Ravage, exact same issues pretty much. Limited articulation. This at least is better proportioned. He's a better proportioned beast mode than the Siege one. He has accessories. He's slightly more than just an accessory. I have no idea if these accessories will actually fit in Soundwave, or if they're more accessory for Soundwave, because that really does look like the tip of Soundwave's gun. Hold on. Let's do a comparison to Siege Soundwave. There you go. That's what I mean. It's literally the tip of his gun. And I'm pretty sure Bumblebee movie Soundwave comes with a full rifle. So this does have a peg at the back, which does that's not a secure connection. But if you wanted to Darth Maul Soundwave's gun, you could probably thicken that peg and put it in its Never mind. And I've talked about Bumblebee movie Soundwave, but I really think he has the same issues this Soundwave does. And by extension, the Sound Blaster I have right there. And we'll get into those in the inevitable review, because I'm definitely getting that Soundwave, because that robot mode is amazing. But Ravage, I think I kind of like him, but it feels more like a pity-like. Like, he's not as good as I want it to be for like a modern Ravage. Frankly, that says a lot about this guy's concept when the best modern Ravage completely avoids the cassette mode. Like, say what you will, and what I said about Covert Agent Ravage's Beast mode, but that's still the best Ravage toy non-masterpiece you can get. That robot mode is awesome. The freaking badass double guns, like everything, like the hip mounting of the gun. That is the best modern Ravage toy. Like, the masterpiece is nice, but there's an innate issue with this design. Ravage, or any of the Cassetticons, just turning into a rectangle. It's the only people that are going to know what this is are frankly, your older demographic, the one who looks at it and goes, oh, nostalgia. Maybe. Like, kids looking at it on the shelf aren't going to know what this is. They're going to go, Mommy, what's a cassette? And parents go, shh, just go listen to your iTunes. It's an old person thing. Don't worry about it. And this isn't even a vaguely recognizable cassette. Like, there's the deco, sure, is white and red, sort of classic-y Ravage, although the added red is new, so it's a nice touch. But you know what this looks like? Ravage has gone through the trash compactor, and then somebody shoved some guns on him. That's literally what this looks like. Like a comical, cartoon trash compactor, where a car goes in, they get squished, and then they come out the other side as a square. Except for some reason, Ravage decided to turn into that so we can fit in Soundwave. Like, anyway. Straight in the bin then. Nah, he's gonna sit there and wait for his master. Because there's only one person who's capable of taming that pussy. And we'll get to him eventually. Anyway. Thank you for watching. If you've watched the whole thing. How is this video almost half an hour? I know. I'm not editing any of it. Alright. Until next time. Keep it weird. Trying to think of a snappy outro. Bye-bye.